Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 8 Japanese destroyer, Fubuki. It has 6 127mm guns, 9 torpedoes, 33 AA defense rating, a surface detect of 5.5 kilometers, top speed, 35 knots, total health 15,800. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, improved acceleration, concealment. For my commander, situation awareness, basic survivability, basic firing training, faster turret traverse, last stand, superintendent, improved survivability, and concealment again. We are on the map Islands of Ice, and I wanted to get a game in this ship. I haven't played it in a while. Last time said May, so that's 2 months. I'm also working on the York, of course, the Izumo, the Miyoko, a bunch of other tiers, 7, 8, 9 basically. These are ships that are either weak, or I just needed to sell them to have enough credits to move forward. And hopefully this game is interesting to you. Now, it's not going to be 400,000 points of damage, but it is tactically interesting. Now, this enemy, Atlanta, is just about to move into the capture range of a point. And I am trying to capture the point, but it's not going to happen. He's going to reach it before we fully capture the base. And the enemy team is going to know, hey, we didn't spot out the ship that was capturing. It must be a destroyer. A good player will recognize that, yeah, that cruiser, there's no way that friendly cruiser that's right behind me could have been in the capture to get it this far along. It must be a destroyer, so we need to be careful. But it does look like the Atlanta is headed north. The Atlanta is sort of inside the enemy Atago, and I can't reach the enemy in the background, but I can't reach the enemy in the foreground. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with my 9 torpedoes, 3 launchers. It's a unique setup. It sort of goes away and then comes right back with 5 each, and we all know how overwhelmingly powerful a Shimakaze's torpedo system can be if you're staring down all 15 torpedoes right in front of you. And it looks like this Atlanta is definitely going to fall for the trap, and he sees it right away. He's trying to slow down, he's trying to avoid it, but 2 torpedoes make contact. We get a devastating strike and first blood. Almost 17,000 points of damage with those 2 torpedoes. The friendly Atlanta, he's not having a good day. He is very low, probably going to die. I, in an almost ignorant attempt, try to pop my smoke to protect him from the Tashkent, the Fletcher, and the Atago. Those are very dangerous ships, and it doesn't end up working. Now the enemy knows I'm somewhat in the area of the Atlanta. The Tashkent, he takes a torpedo attack from the friendly aircraft carrier. I get a little bit too close, which is sort of funny because I think the Fubuki has the best detectability of any ship in the game. 5.5 with the concealment module and the concealment skill. The Tashkent tries to fire, but we're very neutral. And I'm going to get out of range. Now, something you might not have noticed from the patch. If you have been detected by an aircraft, for instance, and that aircraft is now outside of your detection range, you might notice that the icon swaps from the aircraft indicator to the generic ship detection. That doesn't mean a ship is detecting you. That's Wargaming's solution to communicating that you're still detected, even though there's nobody in line of sight for the 2 or 3 seconds. That's one of the changes they made in 0.5.8. It tells you exactly when you are detected to the enemy. But you must consider that it might take 6 to 10 seconds, depending on how far the enemy is away from you, for the shell that they fired with the accuracy to reach you. So be very careful. Even though the indicator is not on your screen, I fall for that all the time. The Tashkent, he takes a nice shot. The AP, probably from the battleship that's right in front of my ship. Obviously, I'm not looking at it because I don't need to look where I'm going. Yeah, Notser, that's sort of not true for you. Of all the players in this game, that is absolutely not true for you, and we're getting close to the island. I dropped the speed quickly, and for whatever reason, Wargaming felt like it was communicated easier way back in closed beta that if you slowed down the ship, you would turn better. turn tighter. They made it just slightly improve your turning radius. And for those who are in the Navy, I believe that doesn't make any sense. The speed of the ship doesn't improve the turn radius, but I could be completely wrong. So don't just go, oh, this is how it works in real life. This is not a real life game. They're trying to make it intuitive, just like a car. The slower you go, the easier it is to turn. You're not having to carry that momentum. Everyone knows that. That's what they applied. Now, the enemy tried to capture. I was outside of the capture radius. And now I'm detected by an enemy Fletcher. Okay, the Fletcher is very close, and I do not have smoke, so I have to go neutral. I have no other out. But I am detecting him for my team, which is very important, of course. Normally, you're not going to see a Fletcher, especially if he's got concealment. And my Japanese commander, there are torpedoes in the water, commander. I am fully aware. And the friendly battleship is in trouble. Absolutely in trouble. He's got a lot of enemy ships in the area, and I'm basically his anti-destroyer. Now, I don't want to run into the torpedoes, but I'm going to try and head somewhat towards the Fletcher. He does do good damage against the Fletcher, and I appreciate that. His secondaries are effective. I do want to try a secondary Tirpitz build. I just have to get a commander up high enough. The enemy Atago is around the corner. He is running away. He probably sent torpedoes. Yes, he did. He sent both sets. But the friendly Tirpitz, nowhere near it, right? It's all good in the neighborhood. We could take out that Fletcher, though. The Fletcher looks like he wants to try a breakout. I don't know how much information he has. Maybe he sees the friendly aircraft carrier. Look how close he is. That's a very aggressive position for the aircraft carrier, and in doing so, I'm going to try and protect my team. Because the aircraft carrier is doing a good job in harassing the enemy, really giving them the business, right? And I'm communicating. I am absolutely aware. Someone was telling me, hey, get that. I'm right there with you. Now, the Fletcher, he was about, what, 2,000? Give or take, maybe 3,000. It's not 100% guaranteed I'm going to win this fight, because the Fletcher really is that much better than me with their gun systems. But it doesn't take a lot. I just need to hit my shots. And he's looking right here. I've got all my turrets in position, and we take him out. He probably didn't have a chance to do anything. He probably was very shocked to see a ship come in that exact position. Remember, I have not been detected for probably 2 minutes before that moment. So I could have gone anywhere, right? I could have rounded the island trying to get into a fighting position against the Tashkent or the enemy Atago. But I just didn't do that. I am trying my best to enhance my team's potential. I need to protect the friendly battleship. Now, the Tashkent is not a scary torpedo boat. The enemy cruiser is actually much better. But even at this close range, he can get into a position where his torpedoes mean something, and I am willing to fire to help my team. So I just try and set up a lead. I can't really tell if he's moving forward, and he is indeed. And we're able to get our shells out. We do 1,300. Friendly fires AP, does a significant amount of damage, probably 3k. Some of his shot took out his propulsion, and I finish off. The enemy Tashkent got out all his torpedoes, and this is bad. Looks like the Tirpitz was able to turn inside most of the torpedoes. He only took one, and that worked out pretty well. Now, could the Tirpitz have taken the Tashkent? Probably, but I think he used all of his gun cooldowns. That's really what's really helpful about the destroyers if you're in an escort position with a battleship. And I know, they're not really in the same area of operation, but once we've captured a base, we can do a really aggressive push, and that's gotten me killed a lot, or I can try and enhance the battleship's fighting potential. And of course, that's what we ended up doing, and it's working out pretty well. He's still healthy. I think we've only lost one ship up here, and that was the Atlanta. That was, he was overextended. He was taking fire from multiple enemy ships. He just didn't really have the appropriate positioning to deal with the enemy's advance. And the enemy cruiser, he's trying to pull back. I don't want to actually ram into the Tashkent. It just takes so long for ships to sink to the bottom of the ocean that they really do impede, sometimes, your positioning. The Tirpitz, he's aggressively rounding the island. He wants to get shots on the target. He's already set on fire, and he's going to have a hard time with the Japanese cruiser. And I'm trying to get in position to help him out as quickly as I can. The Japanese cruiser sends out torpedoes. Don't hit my friend. Don't hit him. Looks like he's able to avoid him. That's good. It's not as easy as you would think for the Atago to send torpedoes. It's really fixed forward or back. It's just not as simple as others. So you should really only expect one set of torpedoes unless he has changed his angling significantly. And he sent his forward torpedoes, it appears. I'm finally in range and the islands are not in the way, and I'm going to engage him. The friendly battleship is taken out. I set the target on fire. I do 3,400 points of damage. He fires on my position. It's going to hurt. Ooh. He takes out a third, almost a half of my health. Of course, right? I pop my smoke. He is detected by the aircraft. I don't have to worry about trying to scout him out. The aircraft is dropping torpedoes. Looks like from multiple angles, so at least one is going to hit the target. I send my torpedoes well forward of his position. The thought process is he's trying to break out, and he takes a torpedo. So now he's within the kill shot, and this is not like most Japanese destroyers out there. I actually use my guns. He has used hydroacoustic. It doesn't matter. We take him out. He does get a little bit of damage. And we're going to burn for a little bit, but, you know, we're going to fix it. It worked great. The guns on the Japanese destroyers, they can do good damage. You just can't take a lot of damage. You can trade one or two salvos. You just can't continuously engage a Soviet or a American destroyer. And we got First Blood, Devastating Strike, 32,000 points of damage, 4 kills, 1,968 base XP. The Tirpitz is right there with me. It was a good teamwork at A. And the most damage we did was against the Atlanta, so it was a good game. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.